Okay, Ethan, I'm going to start this one just by dealing with the first two numbers together, okay? If I have a positive times a negative, is it going to be positive or negative? Negative. So this is going to be negative something. And what is the something? Negative what? Careful. 2 times 2 is?
Oh, you're doing, oh, okay.
It's okay.
4.
Good. And 3 times 5 is? Does that make sense to everybody there? Oh, that's okay. All right. Sorry, Regan. What do I do with dividing, please? What does it do for that? Yeah, and turn to a multiply, right? So negative 4 over 15 times 7 over 3. I showed you guys yesterday that a dot means times, right? Or the day before. Okay, Carolyn, what's negative 4 times 7, please? Good, and 3 times 15 is? Negative 28 over 45. And that is in lowest terms, okay? The only thing 28 goes into is 2, 4, and 7, and 45 doesn't divide by 2 or 4 or 7. Okay? Does that sort of make sense for most people? Okay. May I borrow your homework sheet from last night, please? May I borrow your homework sheet from last night, please? You're too kind. You're going to be my go-to person this year, I think. I need to borrow something, just saying. All right, here we go, 1G. Now, we're going to solve this as a class, or do you want me, no, how do you, we need a philosophy for homework take up. Do you want me just to zoom through it as quick as I can, or do you want to go around the class still and everyone takes a turn? Sorry? Be quick? Okay. So, 1G goes like this. 18 over 13 minus 3 1/3. All right, somebody said they didn't like this question because there's negatives. You know what I say? You're in grade 9 academic math, you can handle negatives. Negative 3 1/3. Just so we're clear, it's going to go 18 over 13 minus 10 over 3. Where I got that from was 3 times 3 is 9, and then 9 plus 1 is 10, and the whole thing's negative, so it goes like that. The tricky part for here is I got to now multiply this by 3. I multiply this by 13, so numbers are going to get big. 18 times 3 is 54 over 39 minus 130 over 39, which should be, oh boy, 76? Negative 76, but yeah. Okay. So that one was a little tricky because it had the whole thing was negative. Negative numbers are okay, right? And negative 3 1/3, yes.
Can you make it into a negative whole?
What do you mean, sorry?
Like, like.
Oh yeah, you can change this, yeah. You can definitely turn this into negative 1 and, was that 37? Yeah, either one of those answers is okay, right? If you give it to me like this, I'll mark it right. If you give it to me like that, I'll mark it right. Either one works, okay? You're just in high school, the improper fraction is easier to deal with, right? Like even this, you need it to be an improper fraction to subtract and add and multiply and all that stuff, so but that's good, okay? It's mostly good for people. Here we go, number 2. By the way, as I'm going through here as quickly as I can, if there are questions, please somebody stop me and say, Mr. Sadler, I didn't understand that. Can you clarify? But if you don't do that, I'm just going to keep talking. I'm going to do my appendix before I forget. Sorry. All right, sorry about that. So number 2 is, oh yeah, this is a tricky one for sure. I'm glad we talked about this one here, because this one, please put a star in our heart beside. Okay, we're not going to do number 3. I think we're just going to stop after number 2, if that's okay. All right. Okay, the way you do this, we're going to talk about BEDMAS today, but you're just going to go left to right, okay? When I look at this question, we're going to actually do this one as a class, because this is a big one here. What am I up to? Is that coming up to you, I think? Okay. This one looks awful, but what's the first step when you look at that you can change instantly looking at it? Go ahead, Zach.
The division?
Yeah, okay. So when you change the division, it's only going to be this one's the only one you flip. You don't flip the times at the end, you just flip that one divide in the middle. Okay? There's one other thing I can do. There's one other thing I can do, and then you can, there's a hint for you. Yeah, go ahead.
Put brackets on this one.
Yeah, okay, but what else am I going to do with, rather than just change that? Go ahead.
Turn the next number into your problem.
Yeah, right away. Okay, so it's going to be -7/50. You can put brackets around all these things if you want to. Yeah, that makes your negatives if you feel better with that. You can certainly do that. Okay, but you don't need to. Okay. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to multiply all the way across. Emily, I'm picking on you. What is a negative times a negative times a negative going to be? Good, right? A negative or a positive, right? And then times another negative. So the whole thing's going to be negative. Right? Everyone see that, right? Negative, negative, negative. It's going to be a negative. All right, Ariana, do you have a calculator with you?
Yeah.
Perfect. Can you show off your times table, calculator, times table skills, please? 7 times 5 times 3 times 3. Still got it. It's good. All right. Next up, we're going to go to the back to Brooke. Can you show off with your calculator skills 3 times 6 times 2 times 8, please? Oh, this is harder. Oh no. 288. Okay. Other than me that I can't multiply, does anyone else feel good about that? Okay, now, this is one that we'll break down, okay, in the lowest terms. Now, what would I try and divide by to start off with here? Am I going to use a 2? No, because one's even, one's odd. I'm going to try a 3 though, okay? You can look above and see a bunch of things going to work. Let's start with 3. All right, Jamie, if I divide by 3 here, what's 315 divided by 3?
Pardon? 315 divided by 3?
Yes.
105?
Good. And 288 divided by 3?
96.
96? Okay. Now, am I done? We don't know. We're going to try again. Okay? Sorry, Rory, I forgot your name there. What, can you divide both those by 3 and let me know what we get? Can you divide those by 3, please? Let me know what we get.
105 divided by 3 is 35.
-35, yeah.
96 divided by 3 is 32.
Shoot. Okay, how do I know we're done now? Can somebody be brave and raise their hand and tell me how I know instantly I'm done looking at that? Oh, people are waiting for me to give the answer. Zachary, you can give the answer. How do I know I'm done?
Because 32 can only be divided by 16 and 2.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more in there. 4 probably were.
Yeah, but 35 can only be divided by 5.
Yeah, 5 and 7. So if you look at that 5 and 7, 32 is divided by 5 and 32 is divided by 7. Okay? Does that sort of make sense what I did there? Is it okay if I skip number 3? Okay, because it's sort of like number 1G but a lot bigger. That's the only difference. Okay? And thank you, Craig, for the paper. All right, today we're going to start talking about BEDMAS. Actually, before we do that, I want to talk about the rest of the week. So you don't break this down if you don't want to, but the rest of the week. So the unit, I should probably say. Friday, Monday, and Tuesday. Friday will be a work period on choice assignment number 1. So tomorrow I will give you a big assignment. You can all day tomorrow in class to work on it, and the weekend. Okay. It's going to be, I'm going to say, at least double this size from last night's homework. So if it took you 3 hours to do last night's homework, it'll take you 6 hours to do the assignment. Okay. Don't worry, you have all day in class tomorrow. That's 75 minutes plus the weekend. Okay? Uh-oh. Michaela's not looking happy there. On Monday will be review. So what I will do is I will pick maybe 4 or 5 hard questions on my notes and go through 4 or 5 hard questions in class, and then you can study the rest of the period after that. Okay, does that make sense? And then Tuesday will be your test number 1 and choice number 1 will be due. Okay? So if you do your assignment on the weekend and you say, oh man, that number 7 was evil, can you go through something like it? I can do one like it on the board on Monday. Okay? So any questions about that? Someone already came to me and said they'd be absent on Tuesday. What I'd like to do, if you know before, if you could write it on Monday, that'd be great. If it has to be Wednesday, great. You guys are grade 9, so hopefully you won't do this. But if you're freaking out and you decide to skip on Tuesday, just come and talk to me and say, Mr. Sadler, it's too much. And we can talk about ways to deal with it. Okay, right? Don't just skip. You guys are grade 9, you won't skip. Right? All right, let's get started with today's lesson, please. Actually, I'm going to pause that first.